guys, I know the camera angle's a little off, but it's just a vlog. I don't think that many people care. Yeah, the air conditioner's on. It's Tucson. It's almost summer. Actually, it's just basically summer here, and it's getting hot, so I'm not going to just turn off the air conditioner for a vlog. Okay, so I'm going to try to make this quick. It's a vlog to let you guys know what my upcoming video releases are for both the Lost Media Chronicles and Adventures in Vinyland for the next, well, either month or in Adventures in Vinyland's case, couple months. So, first off, it's video game month. I know that the Nickelodeon episode kind of came into May, but what happened with that is I wanted to get it done well. Like, really well. I didn't want it to be this half-assed, episode with not a whole lot of details put into it. I kept learning more and more about Pinwheel and Clockman the more research I did. And sometimes you end up doing research just looking for footage or just visual representation. It's like, crap, I didn't know that either. So now I have to add in this other voice clip. And yeah, so it took an extra couple of days. It didn't come out on the 1st of May or the 30th of April like I had initially promised. But you're going to get all 4 of your video game releases by the end of the month. All the other Adventures in Vinyland stuff I'll be doing this month is just like that extra little thing I'm throwing in there. So that way fans of that show aren't waiting 2 months for the next episode. So, I'll get to these in a moment, but for those of you wondering what my video game related topics are, it's going to be Virtual Boy games. Yeah, that's right, I'm going for that. There's a lot of them. It's an interesting story. I know Virtual Boy gets talked about a lot because it's one of Nintendo's failures, but I don't see a whole lot of videos about the unreleased games for that. And there's a few articles on the wiki. I'm probably going to have to do some extra research for some of the other releases, but for the most part, that's going to be an interesting episode. And then I'm going to do 3D Groove because why the fuck not? It's the most popular video game article on the site because it's purely nostalgia based, and that's really all people care about when it comes to 3D Groove. The fact that they're all like, I remember this SpongeBob game from my childhood, or I remember this Jimmy Neutron game from my childhood. And I guess I just wanted to kill that subject with one stone, rather than constantly come back to it every single goddamn year, so. And then I'm going to do Mean Girls DS, which I know Gamer from Mars has already done, and a couple of other YouTubers have covered. I'm going to try to have a little bit of a unique spin on that. Final topic for the month, I'm trying to think between like a Pokemon Part 2, which I don't really know if I want to do that, or go into the Legend of Zelda or the Mario series. So that one's still a little bit up in the air. But something I'm not so hesitant on, I guess you should say, indecisive. That's the word I'm looking for. You could probably tell I'm the life of the party whenever you try to have a conversation with me, because I either talk too much or I can't think of the right word and I say over and over again. Or Fred just likes getting attention. So, the record release is coming up. So this first one, a lot of you guys have been asking me, when's the damn thing coming out? And I guess people don't pay attention when I say video game month, or not video game month, the people don't pay attention when I say David Bowie month. Like that entire month was going to be David Bowie, no matter what you wanted out of Adventures in Vinyland. So, you know what? I'm finally going to do it. It's going to be one of the episodes in May. Fucking Return of Motherfucking Bruno by Bruce fucking Willis. Bruce motherfucking Willis. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at how seriously he treats this. Oh man. He knows he's got his game figured out. Okay, seriously, for those of you that are curious, this is a real album that happened in 1987. Bruce Willis hadn't become a star with Die Hard just yet, and he was considered a bit of a novelty, star, so he was all like, I don't even know what I'm going to do, so I'm going to throw a bucket of paint at the wall and see what sticks. This was one of those little vanity projects of his that he took on, and there's like an HBO special connected with this album that is supposed to play like This Is Spinal Tap, only a little bit less funny. So I'm not going to yell during the entire episode, but come on here, you can't just up the ante with this and be cheesy. So that's the next Adventures in Vinyl Land for you. I just spoiled it for those of you. For those of you that watch vlogs, you actually got to find out who that bigger musical genius, quote unquote, than David Bowie was. So there's that one. And I probably just pretty much beat the shit out of that record. I'm sure a lot of my vinyl enthusiasts are going to be all like, dude, you don't know how to handle your vinyl. And you're right, I kind of don't. I try my best to not damage it, but sometimes I, fumble and do something stupid. The next record, and this is something you guys have probably been anticipating since day one of 2 Beats Plus. Red House Painters. I know so many of you guys are getting giddy inside, and then the other half of my fan base is being like, unsubscribe. Yeah, that's right, I'm finally tackling these guys, because I can do an honest-to-God Red House Painters episode. This is their first album. It comes off of recordings mostly from a demo tape that very few people have a physical copy of, but everyone and their mother has like a bootleg copy of. And it's not my favorite Red House Painters album, but it's the only one celebrating an anniversary this year that, besides a couple of others, which aren't as good as this one, I guess you should say. So there's that one. And I know those of you that are recognizing this back cover right here, if you can even make out those lines, you're probably already just screaming at the monitor, being all like, oh my god, he really is doing that one. But that's the one behind this one. Ladies and gentlemen, we are floating in space by Spiritualized. It's one of my all-time favorite albums. It was written while Jason Pierce was on a huge drug trip. And it's 70 minutes long, so it's going to have that nice little double album effect, which means the episode's going to be long as balls. And we're going to have fun with that one. So, this last one, and this is the one that I'm sure most of you guys watching this, you're all like, don't care, don't care, don't care, and then I hold this one up, and you're all like, dude, why don't you just do that one? Just fucking review that one, don't even worry about the other three. Well, motherfucker, I'm gonna make you wait for this one. And you bothered to watch this vlog all the way through, so I'm gonna show it to you. By the way, the image is a little bit not safe for work. It's one of those album covers, and I don't feel like putting blurs over it, and many people have gotten away with showing the album cover with no fucking problem before. The most requested 2 Beats Plus episode out there. And I'm pretty sure the light is completely, obscuring whatever the hell would have been offensive about this. Okay, because it's black and white, my lighting sucks. This is The Money Store by Death Grips, which is turning 5 years old this year. One of my all-time favorite hip-hop albums. And one of the few times I actually agree with Anthony Fantano on his, musical opinions, if you will. And this thing is going to be interesting because to try to analyze The Money Store is like trying to analyze a car wreck, because there's so much going on and so much to say, and people aren't going to sit there for an hour and hear you mention every single little thing. So you have to pick and choose which things are significant. And there you have it. Upcoming reviews. Aren't you glad you watch my stupid, convoluted, long vlogs?